Welcome back. It is day 3 here on our 21 yoga journey together. And we're going to get moving a little bit more today. Today is going to be a little bit more of a flow, and we are focusing on opening our hearts. So I wanted to do this on the third day to just be able to step into this journey together with open hearts. And so we'll get started together in Balasana, child's pose. All right, come into your child's pose, whatever that shape looks like for you. Knees wide apart, knees closer together. And soften your forehead down. Let your arms be soft here in this shape as well. A few deep breaths to allow you to land. Bringing yourself into your space, bringing yourself into your body, your breath. Becoming present. Let's start by stretching the fingertips forward, extending the arms and spreading the fingers wide. Pull yourself into a tabletop shape. And feel like the joints are stacked so you feel supported and steady. Cow and cat spine. Inhale, let your belly drop down. Lift your chest forward. Exhale to round your spine and press your palms into the mat. Starting to link your movement with your breath on an inhale, glide your chest forward, lift your tail. Exhale to round your spine, push the mat away from you. You could stay here with this flexion and extension of the spine, or if you want to explore some different shapes here, please feel free to express that. Maybe shifting, drawing some circles, maybe pausing in a place where it feels like you need to. Just taking a few more breath cycles to warm up into the spine. Good. And coming back to a neutral tabletop now. You could keep the toes pointing back. You could tuck the toes, moving into a bit of a stretch for the chest, the throat, puppy pose. Walk your hands forward. See if you can keep the hips relatively stacked over top of the knees. And then reaching your heart, your chest forward. This could also be a place for a block or a pillow, maybe letting your chin land on the floor, or you could also bring your forehead to the floor, still getting that stretch across the chest. With the chin on the floor looking forward, you'll definitely feel a little bit more of an opening across the throat. One more breath. Good. Starting to walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. And tuck your toes if they're not already there. Find downward facing dog, hips high. Maybe pedaling out the heels, bending one knee, extending the bottom heel, or the opposite heel rather. Pushing into the thumbs, the forefingers. And then landing in some stillness. Reach the hips really high. Let your gaze land so that the neck stays long. Maybe that's between your heels, your shins, your knees. This shape is always available to you at any point throughout any of your practices. You could even take child's pose if you need rest. This is a good shape as well if you want to skip a flow. Remember, this is your practice. This is your journey. And so make it yours. Good. Looking forward on an inhale now. Let's walk towards the top of the mat. Lots of little steps to get into a fold. Your feet could come close together. Your feet could be wide apart. Maybe a big bend in your knees. Maybe a really soft bend in your knees. Just draping the body over the legs. Good. Bending into your knees now a lot. Let your tail get nice and heavy. And roll yourself all the way up. Come to stand in your mountain pose, Tadasana. I worked a lot on this shape yesterday. So see if you can connect once again to that rooting action of the feet, that long, tall crown, spacious spine. Let's take a flow. Inhale to reach up, look up. Exhale to fold forward. You could pull palms together through prayer, maybe open the arms out to the sides. Halfway lift on your inhale, lengthen the crown forward. Exhale to fold. Let's plant the palms and step back. Find a high plank. Knees can come up, knees can come down. Reaching out through the crown of your head, take a full breath in. Exhale from knees or not, lower all the way down onto your belly. Good. Extend your toes back behind you. Let's take baby cobra on an inhale. Press the tops of your feet into the floor. Lift your chest. Exhale, lowering down. One more like that. Inhale, baby cobra. Strong legs, supportive glutes. Exhale, lowering down. Tucking your toes, press through your table. Inhale. Exhale to downward facing dog. Look forward on an inhale. Exhale, step forward. And find your fold. Again, that could be a lot of little steps, maybe a few big steps. Lift yourself halfway up. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Push down through your feet to rise up. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, release your palms down. Mountain pose. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale to hinge the hips back. Find your chair pose. Good. Option 2, circle the arms back behind you and interlace your fingers, getting a bit of an opening across the chest and inviting in a gentle back bend into the upper spine and getting a bit of a shoulder stretch here as well. Keep that hinge of the legs, keep the depth of your pelvis, open up across your chest. Wherever your arms are, really, open up across your chest if you're not taking that interlace. Sit a little bit lower for one more big breath in. On your exhale, fold forward. Maybe let those arms come overhead for a breath if you've got that interlace. Good. Slowly releasing the palms to the low back, and then return your hands to the floor if they're not already there. And just let yourself dangle. Good. And bending into the knees one more time. Roll yourself up. So hopefully the spine is feeling a little bit more lubricated, a little bit more open. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Moving into a standing back bend now. A couple of options here for your hands. You could take your palms to your low back, fingertips pointing down. I also like to offer the option of interlacing hands behind your head for a little bit of support. Or you could take the interlace that you just took in chair pose if you took that option. So play with that. You can choose all three. You could get expressive and play with different variations, but working from that strong foundation. So that idea of rooting, grounding down into the floor, just like you did yesterday for mountain pose. So working from that strong foundation up, plug into your feet, strong legs, strong glutes, take a breath in. On your exhale, maybe start to trace your gaze up and back, lifting up through the chest. And pressing gently forward through the hips, inviting in a gentle back bend, maybe even lifting the gaze a little bit further. Expanding and opening through your heart center for one more breath. Good. Bring your gaze forward on an inhale, and then release any bind. Exhale, Tadasana. Let's take a flow inhale to reach up, look up. Exhale to fold. Lift halfway, hands on your shins. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Step back, find your high plank. Again, option to take the knees down. Take a full breath in. On your exhale, lower halfway, Chaturanga. I'm going to drop my knees here. Inhale to baby cobra, or maybe all the way up and through to upward facing dog with the knees and the thighs lifted. Exhale, come through your table or flip over your toes for downward facing dog. One big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Let's take an inhale and sweep the right heel high up. On your exhale, shift forward like you're coming into your plank and step that right foot through. We'll take warrior one stance. So hop that left foot in slightly. And then when you're ready, bring yourself all the way up, arms up overhead. Virabhadrasana 1. Soft through the shoulders. Good. Send that right knee forward over top of the right toes. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, let's open it up to warrior 2. Good. Landing nice and strong. Opening the heart. Opening the chest. Flip your right palm up and exalt your warrior. Reach that right arm up and back as you keep the hinge through the right leg. Soft through the shoulders. Good. Take a breath in and just lengthen the front leg. Keep reaching up and back through the right fingertips. On your exhale, find Trikonasana. Pull the right fingertips forward. Ooh, maybe a little hip crack there. And then right hand either to a block, maybe you've got a book nearby, or onto your shin. Left arm can extend up overhead. Maybe it stays on your hip. You could even take that option again with bringing the hand to the back of the head. And then really ground down through the feet. Draw that energy up the legs into the hips, creating a little bit more space underneath the right side for one more breath. Good. Lift yourself back up on an inhale. Exhale, land warrior 2. Strong. One breath in. On your breath out, frame your front foot, pick up the back heel, step back into your high plank, optional flow. Breathe in. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, upward facing dog, strong legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath in. One breath out. Again, those flows are always optional. You could come to down dog. You could come to child's pose. Let's take a breath in, sending the left heel high this time. Exhale, shift forward, look between the hands, and step that left foot through. And take that right foot in just a couple of inches maybe. Land the right heel down and then reach the arms up, Virabhadrasana 1. I'm going to flip around. So the left leg is forward, the right heel is rooted. Rib cage draws in, shoulders are soft. And take a big breath in. Exhale, open it up to warrior two. Nice. Staying open across the chest, flip your left palm and then dance it back. Exalted warrior. Again, keeping that hinge through the front leg as you open up through your heart. One more breath. Strong foundation. Breathe in to lengthen the front leg. Exhale, reach forward through the left fingertips. Draw your right hip crease back. Oh, I've got cracky hips today. And then land in your shape. It might look totally different on this side. So just acknowledge that. Maybe you want to extend and open across the chest a little bit more. So reaching up through those fingertips. Wherever you are, notice if you're kind of sinking down through that left side, which is usually the tendency. See if you can lift up out of the left rib cage. And plugging into the feet on an inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale to land, warrior two. One breath in. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Frame your front foot. Take your flow, skip it. Get creative. We're meeting in downward facing dog. If you are taking that back bend, opening up through your heart. We meet in down dog. Let's take Balasana. And child's pose for a breath. All right. Coming back to a seated position now. We are going to take Ustrasana, camel pose. So hopefully the spine is feeling pretty open to be able to take this shape. Now we're going to come up onto knees. So as an option, you could roll up your mat for a little bit of extra support. If you have a blanket nearby, you might want to bring a folded blanket underneath your knees, or you might feel enough support from your mat. So totally up to you. Come to stand on the knees. I like to tuck my toes, but you can certainly keep your toes pointing back. And then we'll start with the option of bringing palms to the low back, fingertips pointing down. And starting with a nice long spine, engagement of the glutes to support your low back. Take a breath in. On your exhale, start to trace your gaze up and back, moving into this back bend, sending your heart space forward and up. Maybe lifting the chin a little bit further, perhaps gliding the hands down. You might reach those heels. And pressing the hips forward, opening up across the chest. And stay for one more full breath. And then bringing your hands back to your low back, bringing your gaze forward, settling the hips onto your heels. You can untuck your toes. Take Virasana, palms facing upwards, soft gaze or eyes closed, just for a few breaths. And tune into your energy. Tune into any sensations. As with life, when we open our hearts, a lot can certainly come up. And so just noticing and acknowledging anything that's coming up right now. Allowing that to settle with your breath. Good. All right, slowly fluttering the eyelids open. And we're going to close our practice today in a seat. So I'm going to grab my block. You could actually just stay right here if you'd like to. Coming into a comfortable seated position. Again, you could soften your gaze, you could close your eyes. Maybe pulling your palms together in front of your heart center. And for day 3, I would like to offer you this affirmation to help you move through the rest of your day. I move through life with an open heart. I move through life with an open heart. Perhaps a gentle bow down towards yourself. Acknowledge yourself for stepping into your practice today. I thank you so much for sharing your energy with me and for being on this journey with me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow.